Guys, I have something I want to announce. I might be believing in Auburn. I might start. I'm not saying I'm putting all my money in. I'm not taking money out of the savings. I'm not trying to convince people that Auburn might be back. But Auburn might be back. Auburn might be a team that I really do like. Everyone and their mother has been talking about Auburn and the talent that has left the building. And that's understandably so. It's Cam Coleman. It's Perry Thompson. It's so many talented players left. Keldrick Folk also going to the NFL draft. Connor Liu from the offensive line. There's a lot of pieces that left the building. A lot of pieces that you know, people in the draft community know. Talent left the building, whether you liked it or not. But talent also entered the building. And if you want to say it's a net negative at the end of the day, if you want to say it's a net positive, that's not what I'm talking about. The biggest win for Auburn this offseason, I think they got stability. Auburn fans know it best. They had talent. The talent was there, very a la Jimbo Fisher. The talent was in the building. The development, the stability, and the damn good coaching was not in the mix. Talent is one thing. Productivity and stability and process is a completely different thing. Go ask Kurt Signetti at Indiana. They don't have the most talented roster in the entire country. They broke the blue chip ratio right out of the water. One of the biggest anomalies in college football. But what they had was elite coaching, elite development, and elite process. Auburn hasn't had that in a very long time. I think they have it. I think they have the right guy at the helm. Do I think they have the correct coaching staff off rip? I'm not trying to say that. I know they have the quarterback position figured out, which we'll talk about here shortly. And I think they got the head coach right. If you go on this page and you go look back at maybe some of the grading I gave for Alex Golesh, and I think the same thing could be said for John Summerall, I was a little harsh. That's mainly for the fact that I think it's going to be very difficult for a group of 5 coach to jump into the SEC, which is already a highly pressurized system. But now they're going to go watch teams like Indiana go 16-0 in 2 years. The pressure of a group of 5 coach elevating to a Power 4 job is more intense than ever. But the more you read about Summerall and the more you read about Golesh, the more you start to believe that you're not going to get a Billy Napier situation where a coach is basically going to have a great process, but not bend to the will of any which way to win football games, not be flexible. Both of these guys are going to lift up every rock under the sun and try to make it work. I work in a job where I got to pick up the phone and start damn dialing. I got to make chicken salad out of straight chicken shit, and I'm going to make it gourmet. The same thing with these guys with Golesh and Summerall. And I'm almost taking this into a Florida perspective, but we're going to stick with Auburn. And Auburn's life is going to become so much more easy to transition because Byron Brown, let's talk about Byron Brown. I had him, I believe, number 6 on my quarterback rankings for the transfer portal. I made a comparison that Byron Brown was an 18-wheeler truck, brakes broken, coming down the mountain. The guy used the little emergency exit that takes him, I believe, up some gravel, up a hill to slow him down. That's Byron Brown. For better and for worse, by the way. That's not just an inherently good thing. This guy got Saquon Barkley quads. He's got a wide stance like Jalen Hurts, and he looks for contact. I remember watching the Boise State game to start this year. He was injured throughout 2024. This is his first game back. The rust was very obviously there, but by the end of the game, I saw something that made me get out of my seat. It's not something that he's going through a full field progression to a backside dig. That usually gets out of my seat, or a perfectly thrown post or a step up into the pocket to layer a football. That stuff I love. I really love that stuff as a person who enjoys watching football film on a daily basis. I mean it, daily basis. But we're talking about a guy that has been playing football since 2022, 2 injured seasons. When he's been healthy, he's been incredible. This past season, he had over 1,000 yards rushing, some really good passing statistics. But in his first game back in 2025 with Alex Golesh and USF, late into a game against Boise State, I mean, he's seeking contact. He's seeking to go through somebody. It's not around somebody, through somebody. And you could question whether or not that's a good idea. Shout out to Jackson Dart. But you could see him as you watch through not just those moments, but throughout the entire season, someone that really is a competitive spirit. I don't have a view of what he looks like on the sidelines. I don't know the stories of what he's like in the locker room. But this is an energetic player. This is someone who's doing it because he believes in his team. He believes in what the process is with Golish, and he's just a competitor. And when you place that into a locker room as you are transitioning to the next level, to the SEC, it's one thing to have a guy like Golish enter a locker room and say, this is our process. This is why it's going to work. You need to believe it. To a lot of players, that could go easily one in, one ear, one out. Very simply put. Not the right way of saying it, but very simply put. Now you have some proven commodities. That's one of the beautiful things I would say about the transfer portal is you can bring these guys that have these testimonies and these proven results to say, no, what he's saying is true. What he's saying will work if you buy in. Byron Brown's been playing since 2022 as a veteran quarterback. The same thing that I said about Rocco Becht, where I said Rocco Becht's played a ton of football. He's got Matt Campbell in his corner. He's going to be the starting guy. He's going to be entering Penn State in Happy Valley and say, this is going to work if you believe in it. Same thing can be applied for Byron Brown. The difference between the two, outside of many obvious differences, Byron Brown is a superstar. He's a superstar player. No ands, ifs, or ways around it. He is a superstar player. I could go through their entire roster. I could talk to you about their entire transfer portal. But at its core, those two things is enough for me to buy in. Those two things are enough for me to say, Auburn might be pretty good. Am I saying Auburn's going to make the college football playoff? No. Am I saying Auburn could win double-digit games and be on the outside and in the conversation in November? No. Could I say you could see stability in a team that is not going to quit? Auburn quit last year. You watched it in every game that they lost as you got further and further and further into the season. Outside of some moments, I think throughout the season, I think Alabama's a great example. But by then they had gotten rid of Hugh Freeze. And by the time they were getting rid of Hugh Freeze, you saw quit. You saw a fight once they had the defense coordinator back. I am blanking on his name. Like I said, I could talk to you about so many different things about Auburn that I can buy into. Those two right there, Byron Brown and Alex Golish, that's enough for me. That's enough for me to at least say, let's circle them. Let's not put them at a 5-7 and outside looking in of a bowl game. Let's put them at maybe an 8-4, a surprising 8-4, a 7-5 with an upset here or there. That's where we currently stand with Auburn. I really do like them this year.